mentioned in the other video having a project coming up for this winter, and there it is again, the Honda Interceptor VF500. And as you can see, immediately it has had a little bit of an accident. At one point in time, when my son was trying to maneuver, he had dropped it on this side. It bent the brake lever, and this is a bit wonky, wobbly, and that was really the only damage on that side. But this side has not survived so well. That's busted. The kickstand side stand, as you can see, is bent like a boomerang. Thankfully they come with the center stand. The tail light, or not, excuse me, the blinker on the left rear is busted as well, and fuel has spilt out of the tank, run down, bubbled the paint on the tank. It scuffed the front fairing, chewed up the hand grip, so it has an oil leak now. That red is not blood, that red is actually paint where it dripped onto the floor. But there is an oil leak right there, and it's coming out of that seal. And also, I found a trail coming off of this valve cover gasket coming down. And they're both very, very just teeny tiny bits of oil leak, just barely above a seepage. But together, it'll make a little spot. That's after about, I don't know, about a week that it sat there. And also, the gear shift is bent in, because when it went over, it folded that in and bent that gear shift in, and slightly bent that rod. I don't think that's a big deal. I think I can straighten that back out. That I'm worried about. I'm going to heat this. When I heat it, it's going to cook this rubber, so I got to get this rubber piece off, heat this, try to rebend it, run it through a sander and paint it. So here's where we're at with this project that's coming up. What is going to be done, what I would like to do. Listen to me carefully. I'm not saying right now that every single thing I'm fixing to tell you is gonna happen. This is my thoughts on this. These bikes are awesome. They're super lightweight, like 400 pounds with a 70 horsepower V4. I mean, it's freaking a blast to ride. But here's what I would like to do. I had planned, some of y'all on YouTube, y'all that have followed me for the last years, know for years I have randomly at times mentioned wanting to do a cafe racer or a street fighter, and I've kind of been on the fence, so I'm going to do both, just at different times. This is going to be a street fighter, and I want to kind of, I've already got a lot of stuff. I had planned on building one years ago, and so I went and unpacked boxes and went digging through. I forgot what I was going to use all this for, but I've got the little Street Fighter front here. I've got little gauges stuff, whatever, fog lights. I don't know that those are going on, may not. I mean, I've got boxes and boxes and boxes of goodies to go on that. I've got somewhere, it's hard to see now, but I'll unwrap all this as time goes by. But that's an all-in-one tail light. It's an LED tail light with LED blinkers. This has the LED blinkers made into it, so I'm gonna eliminate the blinkers. That's an absolute. That is gonna go on here. I'm gonna open that box. Before I get into that, I'm gonna tell you about this side. I need to tell that part of the story. My son did not do this. I did this. Yep. This happened hauling this bike 360 miles in an enclosed trailer from his house back to my house. It fell over in the freaking enclosed trailer and did that. And I will show a picture of that now. So, again, for those that have watched the videos on me and this bike in the last year or so past, I had mentioned, especially with my aging eyes being hard to see, the speedometer, which kind of does matter going through town, because this goes from 0 to a speeding ticket in like 1 second through town. To be random, it also broke the mirrors. I just happened to think of that. That one broke during the fall. That one I broke unloading it out of the trailer. Anyway. So anyway, to fix that, we're going to have to build brackets But that's going to be the front end that's going on it. This is coming out. This is going in. I'm going to put this is a digital speedometer with a nice big tack, shift light. Supposedly has a gear shift indicator. Don't think that's going to be hooked up, but somehow the whole thing is to narrow this bike up, making it kind of like, I hate to say this, but kind of like an FZ07, where it's real skinny, real narrow, and then just have kind of a muscular bulge through here. You'll see the radiator sticking out each side and that big V4 engine. And right now my thought is I'm going to pull the lights out of that front, whatever you call that, the front cowl, pull the lights out, paint that red, repaint the fuel tank red. I'm going to paint these red, coming back through here. This is coming off. This, I'm going to trim this down. I don't like this little dovetail. I mean, I'm sure that was fine back in the 86 when it was made, but it's just not in keeping. So I've got to look at this really carefully. This is one of those up in the air kind of things, because I can do fiberglass and Bondo work. If there's enough back here to build it, I want to pull this off through here. This is going to, of course, be replaced. These are coming off. This is cutting down. I'm just going to kind of take, to go along with that smaller front end, I'm going to take that rear and kind of shrink that up. I'm wanting to kind of come in through here, just kind of round this out a little bit, and then Bondo in and make it streamlined, and use that fiberglass matting, and kind of streamline that. And like I said, shorten this out. You won't see anything here. It'll just be the license plate will be the end of that. Just tidy all that up. Take these braces off, pull all the reflectors off. For reflectors, I'm still going to have reflectors, but it's going to be this kind, like those, and cut down into small little strips would be on the front, so the front still got reflectors. It's still legal, but they're flat. Got these in red buried somewhere, so put red tape on type reflectors in the back, yellow ones in the front. What else? Okay, the painting. So red. I'm going to take all this frame, all this motor, everything there down. We completely blacked out. The only thing is, like on the Honda, I'm going to do the Honda in red stripes on the fins. I'm going to go ahead and just black out everything I can through here. This piece, I'm debating. I think I'm just going to paint that black instead of red. Two reasons. One, black hides everything, all the road grime. That thing's constantly stays dirty, so I think I'm just going to black that out. Exhaust. I'm going to pull these big old honking exhaust pipes out. This one thing about this bike is it's very quiet, and I do believe I've mentioned that before in another video. In and amongst my parts bins, I've got these little shorty exhaust pipes, and on that V4 with these little shorty exhaust, it's probably going to sound pretty badass. I'm just going to tell you right now. So those are going to go on. I'm going to try to figure out a way to put in some mini floorboards. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm serious. I want to put in like a mini floorboard back here for my little lady. She's not a fan of pegs. She loves the floorboards on Midnight. So yeah, we are keeping Midnight. That's our touring bike. That is an awesome bike for going on long rides, but one thing that I've personally discovered is many days I have just not ridden a motorcycle because I just don't want to mess with that big old bulky bike, and so I just drive the car. Having that little bike is a easy breezy fun blast to drive. Big and comfy, fast and fun. This has the fun factor that I have been missing, and I actually had posted a vlog, motovlog, about how I'd lost much desire for riding, and I figured out that where I have lost that desire is because I'm missing that fun factor, that excitement. This bike is not comfortable with two people on it after about, I don't know, 30-45 minutes. It's just too cramped. By myself, I could ride this thing for hours. So that's going to happen. This little hoot-diddly has got a heck of a wire harness. So, and some instructions, probably in Chinese that I can't read. Grips, I've got somewhere. somewhere, here we go. I've got foam grips that's going on, and that's been covered in gasoline, and it literally will melt in your hand. So that's coming off, foam grips going on, cafe style little mirrors off of each side is what I'm thinking. I'm not 100% on the mirrors yet. I have got somewhere in the pile over here, anyway, somewhere I have got mirrors. Oh, the power of editing. 5 minutes later, I finally found the mirrors. These were made for dual sports, where if you have the wraparound hand guards, you mount these to the hand guards for street riding, and there's a spring and a bolt and a lock nut, and when you go into the woods, you fold them in for riding through the woods. You get off the woods, you fold them out. I had bought these when I had the BMW G310 GS, and never put them on. So I've still got those. So I might, don't know if it's going to work, I might find a way of mounting that to these or somewhere. They make black seat cover kits for this. I'm going to try something. I'm going to try it once. If it don't work, it's like 40 bucks for a seat cover. But I'm going to try the vinyl dye first. And that's really about it. I tried to make this video under 5 minutes long. I think I've probably gone closer to 10. I'm not sure. Hey, would this qualify for talking about one thing constantly for 10 minutes video? Possibly. So some of the paint scheme may change. I'm just going to have to kind of have a feel for it. But that's, in a nutshell, what I've had in my mind for the last couple of nights. Trying to use existing parts, not having to go out and buy a bunch of crap. The only thing I'm really not sure on is the floorboard thing. But anyway, 2 months is my build time on this. It still has the high idle problem. So once I get the fuel tank off and get the air box out, I'm going to pull the freaking carburetors off this thing. Check them boots, because I think that's where our problem's going to be. I'm going to have to fix this high idle issue and go ahead and change plugs, general full-on tune-up, oil change. May go ahead and re-flush the cooling system. We flushed it once when we first got it. I'm going to try to re-flush the cooling system again. Brake levers, I've got new. That's the one thing I had to order. In fact, those haven't come in. The one thing I did have to order, because it's kind of specific to the bikes, I have a set for Honda Groms, and they were not made right. So, because I had put my factory Honda Grom levers back on when I traded the Grom back eons ago. That's where I'm at right now. So, over the next month or two, we will see how this progresses. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned, guys. Love y'all. Coyote out.